Hello students, again welcome to the online class session of accountancy. A new chapter will be explained to you in this online class session of accountancy. The chapter name is Bills of Exchange. Okay, right. According to NCERT, it is chapter number 8. Okay. Let's have a look over the chapter. Bills of Exchange, chapter 8 in NCERT. Okay. Now just see the green board. Bills of Exchange is the name of the chapter. First of all, understand the meaning of this chapter. The three terms are being used. Bills of exchange. Now, bill, as you know, whenever any transaction is there between the two parties, one is the seller and another is the customer, then the total purchase is made by the customer. Its billing is done. Means what is the total amount of the goods being purchased by the customer, and that billing is done by the seller of the goods. Now here what is being done? The bills are being exchanged between the two parties, seller and the customer. Seller is making the bill and issuing to the purchaser or say the customer. So this whole chapter is regarding the exchange of bill between the two parties, customer and the seller of the goods. And some more parties will be more included in this chapter, and about those parties we will just discuss later on. Let us clarify the initial knowledge of bills of exchange first of all. Then, after explaining the chapter, initial stage, that is primary stage, I will explain you some more stages to understand the chapter bills of exchange. So at the primary stage, let us understand meaning of bills of exchange. According to the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, what is bill of exchange? A bill of exchange is defined as an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker. Okay. Signed by the maker. Who will be the maker of bills of exchange? Maker will be, see here, diagrammatically I have explained this definition here. According to the Indian Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, whatever definition I have shown you just now, it is explained by me with the help of this diagram. So diagrammatically you understand the concept of bills of exchange. The very first transaction which takes place in between the two parties, seller and the customer, is selling of goods. Here always the goods will be sold on credit basis. See the transaction. A sold means A is the seller, A is the seller. To B, rupees 1000 goods. Okay, so B will be the purchaser or say the customer. Right. Now, this is a credit transaction because it is not mentioned in this transaction that these goods are purchased by B from A in cash. So, it is a credit transaction. Now, what will be done? A will just make the bill. Okay, right? A will be the maker of the bill. In it, he will mention the transaction taken place between him, that is A, with B. The total detail regarding the purchaser B, as well as the goods, its billing, and when B promised to make the payment of the bill, that all will be mentioned there, and both the parties will sign on the agreement being written on the stamp paper. Okay, so bill will be made by the seller on the stamp paper. The agreement will be prepared. In it, the total details regarding the transaction, this transaction, name of the seller, the business unit, what type of goods sold, what was the bill of the goods sold, to whom the goods were sold, the complete address of the purchaser, and lot more details are mentioned in the bill. Okay. One more party is there who sign on the agreement. He will just make the agreement between these two parties, A and B, a valid agreement, a legal document, and he is the advocate. Okay. Now, what happens after selling of goods after selling goods by A to B? A bill is made by A, and he issue or say drew. To whom he issue the bill? To B. And whatever promise was done by B related to bill payment is also mentioned in that bill. Here, the promise of making payment from B's side is 3 months. This is the maturity date of the bill. The maturity date means the date on which B agreed to make payment of the bill. Right? Maturity date. Is it clear? After 3 months tenure, the bill's payment will be made by B to A. And this tenure is known as maturity period. On the maturity date, some extra time is also allowed to the customer if he is not unable to make payment of the bill on the due date, and that duration is 3 days duration, and that 3 days extra time is known by the name of days of grace. Right. So, on the date of maturity, what A will do? A will make or say present the bill to B, and B, what B will be doing? He has to make the payment of the bill. If he is unable to make the payment of the bill, then 3 days more time will be given by A to B. Right, and that time is known as days of grace. Right. Now, A is also known by the name of drawer. Okay. Drawer means one whosoever just issues the bill. He is known as drawer. And on whomsoever the bill is drawn by the seller, that person is known as drawee. So purchaser or the customer is known as drawee, and the seller is known as drawer. Okay. So here in the last 4 lines you can see signed by the maker. The bill of exchange is signed by the maker, and maker, that is seller, direct means instruct a certain person means the purchaser of the goods, to pay a certain sum of money. Here the certain sum of money in the said example is 1000 rupees only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. ठीक है, certain person means to the seller, the bill payment is to be made by the purchaser or to the bearer of the instrument. But in case if this bill known as bill receivable for A, bill receivable for A, if A has given the duty of receiving this bill to someone else, or he transferred the bill to someone else, say A transferred the bill to X, now the bill is with X, so the bearer of the bill is X, he is entitled or he has the right to collect the payment of the bill from B. If the bill is not transferred to X, then A himself will receive the payment of the bill from B. Okay, is it clear? Right. So this was the definition according to Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Okay. And I explained you the definition with the help of diagrammatical explanation. Okay. This is a diagrammatical explanation. This diagrammatically explained video will help you a lot in the near future when we will just cross very initial stage and second stage till the final stage. This diagram will always help in understanding more additional concepts related to chapter Bills of Exchange, because more points I will be adding in this diagram to make you understand more important concepts related to Bills of Exchange. So repeatedly watch the YouTube video link which I will be sharing with you in your WhatsApp class group. Okay, if any query is there, just get it clear, because this is the introduction of the chapter, and if introduction is clear to you, then you can easily start solving the question. Okay, and can understand future online classes explanation of different topics related to this chapter of Bills of Exchange. That's all for today. Have a nice day.